What's good, everybody, and welcome back to the Commentary Position YouTube channel, home of the Commentary Position podcast. And today we are going to be talking about Stand and Deliver and kind of just previewing slash predicting who I think will win the matches on Saturday, early Saturday. And, just kind of have some fun with it. If you guys don't know who I am PTP, Percy, whichever one you prefer. And I'm solo on this one. But if you haven't already, go watch G's solo video earlier in the day, as of the time that I'm recording this. This video is already out. He did the night one WrestleMania main event, if we book it type of video. So if you haven't seen that already, make sure you watch that before you watch this one. But yeah, we're gonna be predicting who wins the matches and just chop it up a little bit. Not gonna be anything crazy, but just to kind of run down what we are doing for the weekend itself, or for the week itself. The prediction video for WrestleMania should be out around like 9-ish Thursday. And later on in the day, you will get this video for Stand and Deliver. On top of that, Friday we will do a review of sorts, probably not as extensive as usual, because it is the go-home shows for these pay-per-views. So we will be doing something on Friday. Saturday, as I just previously mentioned, I'll be on a little bit earlier for Stand and Deliver, and then, of course, it'll be both of us later in the night for night one of WrestleMania 41, and Sunday, of course, the same thing with night two. It will be the both of us. So hope to see you guys there. Hope to see some new faces, some of our consistents, our regulars. And we'll be doing it with face cam, so that should be a very interesting experience for the both of us. Before we get into this, also, because it's a pretty lengthy intro, if you like the video, like the channel itself, leave a like on the videos. Leave a like on these videos, all videos we have on the channel, this video included. And subscribe, because we are on the road to 500. And spread the word, your teacher, your next door neighbor, your librarian, your goldfish, your pet mongoose, whoever you want to share the information to, go ahead and do that. We greatly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So the start of the card. Now, I didn't watch the go home show for Tuesday as of the time of me doing this, but for the most part, you kind of get the gist of what an NXT show has to offer. Standard delivers are usually phenomenal, exceptional. Around this time, I think last year they had like a really, really good Stand and Deliver in Philadelphia, so I don't expect anything different or anything less from them. The kickoff, I don't know if it's a kickoff show or like to kick off the show, but there will be a number one contenders WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, including Roxanne, Perez, and Cora Jade back as a tag team. Fatal Influences, Fallon Henley and JC Jane, the Meta Girls, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. So this is a really interesting match. I know this came up as of last week, I believe. They all kind of stormed the office and believed that they should be in a second chance match revolving around the NXT Women's North America Championship. That did not happen. So I would assume these people, the winner of this match has next for after the Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez match on night 2. I think it's night 1. Might be it's night 2. Night 2, excuse me. But if I had to predict who would win, obviously there's only 3 tag teams in this match, verbatim, or at least as far as like Lash and Jakara, Fallon and JC. I think the Fatal Influence team might be on the verge of implosion, so I don't see them winning. Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, I can see them winning. Especially if Liv and Raquel retain on Sunday, you need another face team to kind of go against them. And I think Tatum and Gigi, would be a really fun, unique team. Similar to kind of what the main roster would potentially have if Cross and Bliss became a tag team again. With the whole, basically the whole gimmick is being weird or kind of being like freaky. Which is actually one of the funniest things that I learned when they said they were the freakiest tag team in the WWE. Crazy work. If I had to think of the order of elimination, I'd probably say Roxanne and Cora get out of there fairly quickly. I would assume, because, Roxanne and Cora haven't really teamed in a while. And I don't think they really trust each other like that. I could be wrong, but I would assume Roxanne and Cora, then Henley and Jane, and then the final two would probably be Lash. The final two teams would be Lash and Jakara versus Gigi and Tatum, and I think Gigi and Tatum win the number one contenders' rights to the women's tag team championships. Then after that, we have three members of Dark State who will compete in a match that has not been announced. Okay, so at the time of it, this match has been confirmed. We have the D'Angelo family, Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Luca Crucifino going up against Dark State, and they have four members that could represent them in this match, whether it be Saquon Sugars, Dion Lennox, Cutler James, or Osiris Griffin, any version of those three. I believe Osiris Griffin probably wrestled in this match because he didn't wrestle in their debut match. I believe it was Saquon, Dion, and Cutler. So I would assume it'd probably be maybe Dion, Saquon, and Osiris for this one, or maybe Saquon, Cutler, and Osiris. I do think Osiris gets in this one. Of course, Dark State's probably going to win. I would assume Dark State is definitely the hot project, or one of the hot projects in NXT. Love Saquon Sugars when he was Lucky Ali in DPW. Definitely do believe he has the brightest future out of this group. Maybe along with Dion Lennox and Cutler, but honestly, I don't think Dark State is losing this match, and it's very interesting the build-up to this as far as the family being the ones to do more research and investigate on who they are individually, like what they're good at, what their strengths are, their backgrounds, really added more depth to the character, and they've already gotten a victory over the competitors in the triple threat match for the NXT Championship. So I would assume Dark State keeps their momentum rolling over the D'Angelo family. Next, we have the NXT Tag Team Championships. On the line, we have Fraxium, Nathan Frazer, and Axiom versus Hank and Tank, Hank Walker, and Tank Ledger. Now, I have been seeing the build-up for Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. They've been talking to a lot of tag teams about how to be a better tag team, be more in sync, have more of an identity. And I think they've essentially been building up to that and found themselves in a tag team title opportunity. And as great as it would seem, this could be potentially the tag team that Fraxium drops it to, because I do think that Nathan and Axiom are going to get drafted later on in the year. I feel like they've run their course as NXT Tag Team Champions. They have been one of the better tag teams for the better part of the last year in NXT, putting on great matches. The growth of just Frazer and Axiom as characters individually and them as a tag team. They fought the Hardys. Like they've done a lot in their time frame as champions, and are already seen as one of the best tag team champions in NXT history. If any of their matches on SmackDown over the last couple months is any indication, I do believe that they are pretty high on Frazer and Axiom in some capacity, whether it be them as a tag team or them as singles competitors. I see them on the main roster fairly, very soon. So I would assume Hank and Tank would be the new tag team champions. Would not surprise me to have Nathan and Axiom beat another team and then they lose it maybe at another pay-per-view at a later date, because I don't know when the draft is really listed on calendars and everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hank and Tank win this match. It is kind of like their big coming out party as a tag team. They're actually pretty good from the matches that I've seen. They're pretty hard hitting. They kind of remind me of the Heavy Machinery type kind of tag team. They're very big, but they're very agile, which is fairly unique in itself. But if this is the Hank and Tank coronation of sorts, I'm with it. They've had a lot of progression. They've fought a lot of teams. They fought a lot of the best teams NXT has had to offer. And they've talked to the Machine Guns, the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, some of the top tag teams in the WWE. So I could definitely see Hank and Tank winning these tag team championships. Wouldn't surprise me though to see Fraxium retain. NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match, 6-way ladder match. Now, of course, this is happening because Vakir vacated one of the titles after she basically unified them after she defeated Julia. I think it was at the not the Hammerstein. I don't know if they were I think they were in New York for an NXT show, and the name of the pay-per-view was slipping my mind. But basically, the titles got unified. But she vacated them, and now we have this match. We have We have Zarya, Lola Vice, who I think qualified last Tuesday with Thea Hale as well. Sol Ruka, Kelani Jordan, Thea Hale, as I just mentioned, and Izzy Dame. Now, this is a match that's kind of hard to predict because there's probably three good options here. Thea Hale could be a sleeper pick just because I do feel like this could be another progression step for her as a like singles character, and with Chase U being done, this could be a good way to jumpstart her. And you still have like Fallon Henley and that type of thing going on as well around the division. And if they all kind of go solo, you have a stacked NXT Women's North American Championship division with Thea Hale being champion, which would be a very new, refreshing thing to see. I could also see Kelani Jordan becoming the first two-time NXT Women's North American Champion. She's been working pretty hard, had a lot of character progression herself with her feud with Jada Parker. I can see that as well. And also maybe like a toss-up. I say Izzy Dame as well, just because the culling has been a fairly interesting team to watch. As far as Shawn Spears kind of losing the title fairly quickly, in my opinion. But that's another topic for another day. But if the goal of their like progression is kind of to like more so focus on them being Izzy Dame, I think it's Nico and Brooks Jensen. If the focus is on them now, Izzy Dane winning a championship does not seem too far out of the realm of reality. And plus Zaruka, who's a tag team, I don't see them separating just yet. Even though I would love for Zarya or Sol Ruka to win this match, I don't think it's the right time to make that team implode or to split that team apart yet. So if I had to really confirm a pick, I'm gonna say Izzy. Now I might be wrong here, but I would like to see Izzy win. The culling definitely is kind of, I guess, hitting like a reset or a redirection of sorts, and you kind of reestablish domination or reestablish, kind of, some structure, some order within the culling if a championship is back under their control. So I'm gonna go with Izzy. Little out on a limb here to go with Izzy Dame. All right, the NXT North American Championship. Ricky Saints, the champion currently, versus Ethan Page, all ego, the ruiner of smiles. You know. This match is probably going to be really, really good. I have definitely enjoyed Ethan Page's run in NXT. Feel like he should have been in WWE a long time ago, but he's here now, and he's doing really, really well, knocking it out of the park. And then Ricky Saints, of course, Ricky Starks, money. Surprised me by him winning the championship so early, but that just kind of shows the faith that they have in Ricky Saints as a character and as a performer. And this match is probably going to be one of the contenders for match of the night if I had to put my, 2 cents on that. I don't think Ricky Saints loses, so I will say Ricky Saints will retain, but this match will be very much really, really good. I'm not sure if they had a match in AEW that I can remember, but just the fact of, like, these are two very solid workers, two guys that are very familiar with each other. The Shawn Spears match that Ricky Saints had was very, very good. Ricky Saints has gotten very, very comfortable in a very short amount of time. And this match with Ethan Page, I expect nothing less from the both of them. But Ricky Saints is definitely retaining in Las Vegas. We have the NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Stephanie Vaquer, the champion, versus Jordynne Grace, Julia, and Jada Parker. Now, depending on the draft ramifications, and I keep bringing up the draft because a lot of NXT seems to be, I feel like they're very eligible for the draft this year. Very much eligible. Women included, or women more or less at the forefront. Because the women's division is very, very stacked, and the Raw women's division is a little lackluster. SmackDown could use some new faces in their division as well. So this is a match to really keep an eye on for the future of the women's division, for both sides of the coin, for the main roster and the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie has been a very good champion. It has been a short reign, and same for Julia, honestly. I could see them having like maybe a Steph and Julia feud, with Julia being the heel for a lengthy period of time before they pull the trigger on the call-ups. It wouldn't surprise me not one bit. But if it's kind of like just learn the style, learn how it feels to be on TV, I could see them giving the title to maybe Jada Parker or Jordynne Grace. Because Jordynne Grace also is just, she can be an anchor for NXT. for a little bit while they have, like, if they were to bring up Vakir and Julia. And or same thing for Jada Parker. Jada Parker has grown a lot in a short amount of time, character-wise and in-ring-wise. So if you want to just kind of have her be the champion to lead NXT's women's division into the future, you can definitely do that. I know a lot of people aren't really thinking of Jada in a favorable light because of her comments and a couple of rumors. Sorry, had to fix my sock and whatnot. But as far as an in-ring competitor, in-ring character, Jada Parker is really good. So I can see it being between Jordan and Jada if I had to choose a potential passing of the torch situation. But I'm probably gonna stick with Stephanie because I think Steph and Julia should definitely be a feud. With heel Julia being with heel Julia being in play, or kind of. Oh, this cup just fell. I'm sorry. But yeah, with heel Julia kind of being hinted at, I can definitely see that being the direction they take, with Stephanie Vakir retaining the women's championship. And the main event being Oba Femi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans in an NXT Championship triple threat match. I think this match also could be match of the night because Oba Femi has yet to disappoint. Javon Evans, Jay Malachi, phenomenal. Trick Williams has grown a lot over the course of the last couple of years. He's grown a lot as a competitor. And this match is really a toss-up. I don't think Oba Femi drops it just yet. Once again, referring to draft eligibility. I think Trick is probably one of those guys that potentially leaves NXT if they were to kind of like call people up and have that kind of reset on the main roster, leading into a new regime for NXT. At first, I had Javon until I realized that Javon stood tall last NXT show last Tuesday. So usually that indicates that person does not win. In most cases, it indicates that person will not win on Saturday. So I'm thinking Oba Femi retains for sure. I think it's gonna be a really good match, hard hitting match. Three of the top male superstars on NXT currently, and they're gonna show up. Oba Femi. Also, I think this is the second year that Oba Femi has had a triple threat match on NXT on a Stand and Deliver card, and his last one with Briggs and Dijak, I believe, one of the better matches. How about the greatest matches of that weekend? I mean, that isn't a stretch, because that match is very much memorable, and people have even said, like, hey, if I'm going to recommend a match to somebody who has never watched wrestling before, I might pick Oba Femi versus Donovan Dijak, or Dijak versus Josh Briggs for the NXT North American Championship. I might take that match. I think about that myself sometimes, if I would take that match, and I very much it's up there. Maybe like top 15, maybe 20. It's one of those options for me. But yeah, that is it for this video. We have ran down the Stand and Deliver card. As I said, Stand and Deliver is, I think it'll be on at 3 o'clock Eastern time for me. Obviously, for other people, it'll vary. 12 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central. Whichever your time zone is, you know what time it comes on. I don't have to tell you what time it comes on. But yeah, hopefully, if my schedule is up to par, or unless something changes, we will be live for Stand and Deliver. So you can chat it up with me about the show, watch it with me, leading up into night one. But hope you guys enjoyed this little video, this little brief rundown of sorts. As always, once again, like I said in the beginning, like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what you think about the Stand and Deliver card. What matches are you looking forward to? Who do you think will win? And also just WrestleMania weekend as a whole. What wrestling are you guys watching? Are you guys just only watching WWE? Are you watching the AEW shows? Are you watching some of the independent shows? What are you guys looking at or looking into watching? So far, I've watched a couple of shows. I've seen some of the Dragon Gate show from Wednesday, and the WWE ID Championship Tournament kicked off Wednesday as well. And I will continue to try to watch as much wrestling as I can over the next couple of days. So wish me luck. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching the video. And as always, we will see you guys on the next one. If it's not the Friday video that you guys watch, or the prediction video prior, we will see you guys this weekend. Peace.